Okay, I know we just did something quite similar to this, but I guess we'll give it another shot. That is what I want. Alright, let's see how this goes. I guess I could have started before recording this, but no. Same mountain too. Interesting. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that I didn't get first in all the races, though I seem to be getting one fewer prototype part right now. I mean, it makes perfect sense to have to win things to get prototype parts. It's just... I don't think I need to get all the prototype parts to get all of the hashes, though, to load everything in the game. By the way, is this the same vehicle I'm actually using in my Fury races already? I think it might be, just with a different paint job. But there's also other parts where it could be more of a problem, in theory, that I recognize this one. There could be more of a problem that I don't unlock then. Because it could be things that actually have 3D models and textures and whatnot. I don't get to load them as a result of it. Yeah, this is not gonna go on the first shot. Just need to get a feel for the way around here. Yeah, so I think if I go, I think on the minimap, if you look left, that's the ATV route we were just on. And now we're on a different one. The one that I saw before, that I remarked on when I was driving an ATV here. It's probably not the most effective way of getting down here. So just out of curiosity, if I do look right... Come on. If I look right over... over here. Yeah, this is where the ATV was. That's funny. Okay. So they do reuse maps in some cases. There's just not as much to see, though, it seems like. I miss the maps have like a big theme. You can go around and explore and whatnot. Oh. Okay, now, the right way to get down here, we need to figure that out. Consistency is probably more important here than barreling down certain parts as quickly as is physically possible, if I had to guess. You know, like not having stuff like this happen. Let's try to learn our way down here before we try to actually do it as quickly as possible. First time I've actually lost a race. I guess everyone else finished before me, or I've run out of time, I'm not sure. I wasn't looking. It's weird how everyone starts faster than me, but I guess that's just... the game might be like that deliberately. As race games often are. That might be good. It's hard to cut that corner and not lose all your speed trying to recover. Ah. Hey. Okay, I managed to roll perfectly onto a rock. I actually had a chance of recovering otherwise. If you account for the one vehicle that just flipped over right in front of me, I think I had a good chance of getting first there if I didn't roll over myself. I don't know if it really matters if I take a left or right here, honestly. Here, it's nice to cut this corner if I can. Okay, the AI is not very good at that chicane. Ah! Okay, cannot see that rock. No. Generally making a bump there is not going to be enough. No. That would be perfectly fine, I think. Just could not see that rock there. Okay, well, I think we can get this fairly consistently now. And we'll see if we can do one point-to-point race or something like that after this. Ow. See, I kind of cut in line there. Take the right path here. Watch the AI completely blow it. Yeah, this is a course where it feels less like I'm really that good and more like the AI is just bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. Took a couple shots, but even then. Okay, cool. That's everything here, I believe. Yep, cool. Alright, let's do a cutscene.
And that success has continued right up to present day. What is your secret?
Well, nothing really. Of course, the Fury support team...
Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I've just been informed that Sir Ian Wilkinson is on the scene. This is indeed a rare occurrence.
Hello? Remember me?
As you may know, Sir Ian was the founder of the circuit back in its earlier days. After moving on to other pursuits, in recent years he's acted as its ceremonial figurehead. But lately he's not been seen much. Let's see if we can talk to him. Sir Ian, a moment, please.
Frightfully sorry, my dear, but I've no time. I just came round to get a look at the fine young rising star that's emerged. Another time, perhaps?
Sir Ian, it is truly an honor, sir.
Nonsense. The pleasure's purely mine. This has to be quick. Now listen up. I know you have questions. The endgame is fast approaching.
You too? But you're the head of the circuit.
Strictly ceremonial, unfortunately, and quite against my will. Simply some, shall we say, indiscretions of my past that could, well, let's just say that my ability to help is rather limited at the moment. But I will offer you this bit of advice. If things keep going as they are, and you keep winning, be especially watchful before the last races in South America. There are plans afoot.
Sir Ian, what a pleasure.
Oh, hello, Dirk. I was just offering our young star the best of luck. Luck to all the races, of course.
Of course.
So good luck then, and off with you both. I hope my spot of encouragement really fuels your desire in the remaining races.
There you go. Kind of more of the same, really. Alright, mud time. Also, I can actually put on that upgrade I just got. There we go. This is about as good as this thing's gonna get, right? Guess I could upgrade that thing, but otherwise... Yeah, so 2 more prototype parts to get actually, but we're pretty close to the best this thing could possibly be. The intake kit doesn't do anything effectively. Whoa, what was that? And, okay, the headers will do something. But anyhow. Alright. I guess we're ready, right? Just confused for a second, the game didn't save, but... Excuse me for a moment. Something about how I was playing with all the menus made me worried I didn't actually save the upgrade, but yes I did. Okay, cool. And I guess we'll get going. It'll probably just be this one race, this episode. And then next sitting I'll start doing the rest of the Europe point-to-point. I couldn't tell what they were standing on in that cutscene. I initially thought it was snow, but it seemed too solid, and it seemed like you could hear footsteps on it that didn't sound like stepping through snow. Speaking of audio and video lining up, man, that lip sync. I've been tempted to say in this game, I'm not used to seeing Climax actually have like voice cutscenes and whatnot, but that's not true. Not as much as this, but Subject Challenge did have voice cutscenes. They're just very brief ones. But no story. Also, I guess I'm going the wrong way, but I guess we'll make what we can of that. Take that, man. Jeez. And I think I couldn't, it seemed like I couldn't wipe people out with my heavier vehicle earlier. And this is a fairly tough, fairly crowded sort of stage, I do have to say. The light routes don't seem that really light vehicle specific on this course. I'm not too fast for respawning, come on. Take that. Everything is green. Oh, so much for taking that route. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, a lot more smooth than what I expected it to be honest. Trying to vaguely stick to the routes the game tells you to take. Just on the grounds that they do tend to work better for my vehicle type. Although, right now what I'm doing seems pretty slow. It's really not guaranteed that's the better option. Okay, I need to have a much better position than I have right now to qualify, actually. I just now really looked at that. Also, you don't usually see ramps like this on the heavy routes, jeez. Like, the heavy things are really slow on these. I usually take the heavy routes to specifically not have to deal with stuff like that. We're getting tons of jumps and whatnot in the heavy ones again. I'm not noticing much difference between the heavy and the light routes in this particular tournament, to be honest. And I'm gaining on the people around me just too slowly, it feels like. Apparently the actual road is a light route, in this game's opinion. Okay. Well, I stopped dead on this hill anyways, there wasn't much I could do about that. Respawning wasn't gonna make it much worse. Yeah, I'm really not gaining as much as I need to. What's going on here? Okay, I couldn't especially tell, well, what that was. It's a bit narrow here what we're trying to go through. Calm down again. Ah, come on, I was right next to the road. Calm down. Been stuck in the same position for a while now, though. I'm gonna take one more shot at this race, but I'm actually a little limited on time right now. I can't continue this episode indefinitely. And the rotation of your wheels tends to make you go exactly the wrong way if you manage to right yourself when you start spinning around and whatnot. It's pretty painful. And this time I wasn't doing something silly like saying, oh, okay, let's just not bother trying to take the right path each time. It's just like, it's honestly a darn hard course. Or at the very end, though. Yeah, jeez, that didn't go well at all. It's just really tough terrain, my god. There are all sorts of winds and really thin paths. in really hard turns. This may take me a few shots, which unfortunately might mean having to come back and then relearn this course later. I have more time for it. How about I just go straight on the road? It seems reasonable to me, because I was too straight. The poor visibility I have of this game in general, which is not entirely the game's fault, although the game is a lot the same color, does make this a lot harder than it needs to be too for me. Because of me having the game a little smaller, the game screen a bit smaller than I'd really like it to be and so on. Game, calm down, I'm close enough to the course. Now in the past, the heavy vehicle paths have been a bit more friendly to heavy vehicles than this. And this course doesn't feel that way. I wonder if it would be better to use a different vehicle for this. It could be that using a lighter vehicle would be better just because I could navigate the terrain better. Because this feels like terrain that is so unfriendly to the type of vehicle that I'm using. Because I also need not to take a pass there, just going up a whole bunch of hills for no reason. But like the path is so bumpy, there's not much I can do about the fact that my car is just gonna start flipping over and whatnot if I land on the terrain in the inevitable ways I land on it. Like, you don't have much control of it. Like, I don't have any control over the pitch of my vehicle, for instance, when I'm in the air. I can't do anything about it, deciding to tip forwards a bit or something. Here, okay. Managed to get back on the course there eventually. Ah, come on. Okay, we're back in 40 again, which is exactly where we got stuck last time. Some nice heavy vehicle path this is, my god. Why are the heavy vehicle paths the ones that are all thin and full of jumps and whatnot? That seems exactly wrong. It's like trying to do Supercross in a truck. Come on. Okay, this part at least I'm not going to run straight into the wall this time because I know it's here. Lack of contrast and colors in this game really does make some parts of this a bit harder than they need to be, though I will still argue. Visibility can just be really bad. Cool, thank you for putting this... Like, what kind of control do you expect me to have in a truck? Maybe I just do need to redo this in an ATV. Maybe that's all it is. That's the simple answer. This is just an awful course to use a truck in. It's not like you can know that ahead of time. It's supposed to be that these are courses that any vehicle can compete in. But this one's just too much fine movement and whatnot. Yeah, and now we're at the end again. And we're not even close. We're only getting halfway to where we need to be. Okay. I don't want to get literally nothing done today. So I'm gonna chance it and see if I can keep going for now. I need to get somewhere. I need to get something done today. In this episode, I mean. And also in my life in general, but... Okay. Is ATV 1 the one we use? No, we use ATV 2. Okay. Also mud. Okay. Wait, shoot. Ah! Hold on. There are upgrades I need to put on my bike. Oh, hold on. Oh. Okay, just let this to load and then unload, I guess. I would have immediately put those upgrades in my ATV if I was allowed to, but I didn't have any access to the garage in my ATV. Hold on, guys. Hold on. You don't need to save. There's nothing to save. Okay. Here we go again. This time I will actually put in the new parts into my ATV. Okay, here we go. Yes, both of those. I actually have almost a fully upgraded engine for the ATV, that's crazy. Yeah, this ATV is as good as it's gonna get, pretty much. Short of cornering, of course, but even so. I am using... Yeah, I'm middle of the road on everything on the ATV right now. I'll leave it that way. Optimizing for high speed and whatnot might not be a bad idea. But I think I should be okay as it is. I'm mostly worried I'll forget to change my gear ratios and whatnot back for the national races if I switch it here. But otherwise, I do think that the optimal setup for this would be a high gear ratio. And, wait, high is not the right word. Low gear ratio. And looser shocks, I believe, is what we want. You know, the stuff that's optimized for high speed and high top speed. Alright, we've seen this before. Okay. So we got our nice powerful bike. I was holding the gas. Okay, thank you for telling me to hold the gas. I was already holding the gas, game. What were you saying? And then I accelerate directly into the back of a truck and wipe out. Yeah, having to worry about wiping out in these races is actually pretty awful. Of course, yeah, otherwise you have to... Dude, holding the gas 100% of the time is just not correct. Don't tell me to do that. Yeah, having to worry about wiping out on this is not fun. But it feels like I just need the improved handling. Yeah, see, that being a problem, that wasn't a problem in the heavier vehicles. Also, why did it put me here? Also, I have to worry about annoying stuff like, oh, there's a wall there. Great, thank you. Okay, could we not? I hate that you can wipe out. You don't have to worry about running into other drivers as a heavy vehicle. Game, no, stop telling me to hold the gas. Like, trying to navigate this is awful between these guys. Man, there's so much stuff I have a hard time seeing. I didn't even see that wall I nearly ran into. It's the same color as everything else. Yeah, see, this is the straightaway I wanted to be on earlier. The game just decided that it needed to respawn me somewhere else. I'm not used to these things being things I'm not allowed to touch. But look, I'm already in 40 at this point. Game, calm down. Dude, how much space did how much ground did I lose there? Why do you need to worry about me not being between the roads or anything? I feel like that was a perfectly fine place to be. Okay. Oh, no, someone else is knocking that around. See, I'm already getting back to 40, which is what I was at before, but... Yeah, I see. There's not much I can do when this guy just runs me into the wall. It's not a problem if I'm on a... If I'm on a... heavier vehicle. Also, I don't really need to worry about whether I'm on a heavy or light path here in this course. I don't know if there's really any reason not to take a heavy route as a light vehicle, honestly. And on top of that, in this particular course, the heavy vehicle routes don't really seem much more optimized for heavy vehicles than the light ones are. Yeah, I'm kind of in the pack around 40 right now. But I'm actually breaking ahead of 40. I've done that multiple times at this point, so we'll see how much that actually counts for. But still, more of a fighting chance than I had before in heavy vehicle. I don't know, something was messing with my head when I was looking at the map with relation to what was ahead of me. I could see the sign saying, hey, go right, idiot. But something in my head was saying, that's not what the minimap says. But no, I was just misjudging the distance on the minimap. Yeah, this is 100% doable with this vehicle, it feels like. You know, I've wiped out no shortage of times at this point. Even with all the wiping out, I'm still doing a good deal better. Don't do that. Yeah, better top speed here would be good for me. This is where the gear ratios that I've chosen are hurting me. At the same time, I don't really feel unstable at high speeds. In Fury, you could feel it. If you're at high speeds and you had, if your shocks weren't deliberately made to accommodate, you would really feel the instability of being at a high speed. I don't know if we're going to get it this attempt, but this is definitely doable now. I just wipe out fewer times and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, I didn't quite get it, but I got close. Okay. I give it one more shot. If I don't get it this time, we're just going to have to call it quits and say, okay, I'll just have to have a whole episode of trying this, but... I mean, learning and improving this whole episode, so... Not for nothing, I feel like. Okay. Just didn't take that turn right. That was all on me. Look at that guy, he hit a sign. So that's the ATV experience, or bike experience, just as well. It's a light vehicle experience. I guess you're agile, but everything is very dangerous to you because you can wipe out and whatnot. Whereas on a heavy vehicle, granted, in this particular course, if you're in a heavy vehicle, you're flipping over all the time anyways. The fact that you can't wipe out, per se, is not really much of a consolation. It just feels like a light vehicle course. Again, here I am, I'm ahead of, well, I was ahead of 40. The game can't really make up its mind on how far ahead I actually am. Someone else knocked this sign and put it in the middle of the road. Why is that a thing that can happen? Other people's litter they leave behind, more or less, can end up messing me up, which is quite annoying. And I have no way of knowing that's going to be there. Again, I wish you could kind of, like, see like an eye tracker showing where I'm looking on the screen at any given moment, because I'm looking so much at the mini-map. Ah! There goes my speed. In this point-to-point event. Whoa, hey! Would you not do that? Yeah, someone's actually outpowering me. It's uncommon for me. Like with the vehicle that I have, if I can't overpower someone on straightaways, like how can I get ahead of them on a straightaway? It might be that yeah, it might just be that the heavier vehicles have higher top speeds and whatnot, which would match my feeling when I was using a heavy vehicle here, except for the fact that I also had a heavy vehicle that just had a strong engine anyways. So I kind of figured it was just my engine that was making that possible, not the fact I was using a heavy vehicle. Like, I'm already in 32nd at this point. Like, I'm already at a qualifying position. And the main difference is just using a light vehicle instead of a heavy one. Because this map is just horrible for heavy vehicles. I think we've mostly gone through the tougher part of the map, too, at this point. This part doesn't usually give me much trouble, I don't feel like. I've just broken ahead. I've broken out of the pack. And there's not really a pack here. Well, maybe a little bit of one, but you know what I mean. I'm as far ahead as I can be at this point. There's nobody else to pass. How in the world Lackier, or whatever that name is, can't quite read it on the screen. Text isn't hinted very well or something. How in the world they're ahead of me along with 30 other people in the actual in-universe event, who knows? But, yep, ahead by 20 seconds. Oh, Dirk actually Dirk is second in this tournament, I'll give him that, but he's still awful otherwise. Okay. Snow premium, but also, well, I didn't mean to go to the garage, I meant to go to exit, because I'm out of time for now. But anyhow. I think things are still going pretty okay. A couple little hiccups recently, but... Yep, snow. I don't know if you'll actually save that or not. Maybe not. Can I specifically tell you to save real quick? What's the cheats that are in this game? Well, are there any assets that are specific to you opening the cheat menu and using it? I should check that at some point. Cool. Oh. Okay, cool. Alright, so what's the date on this and whatnot, actually, out of curiosity? Is it accurate? I think it is. I think the clock is way off. On a line. Anyways. Alright, I'll see everyone next time when we finish up that point-to-point, hopefully, and we get to go to the last round of our tournament, which is probably the end of the story, who knows? And who knows what stuff is in the game after that to do. I don't have any idea. Bye, everyone. And I'm getting a phone call. Perfect timing. Bye.